jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. Jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show.
Join us as we cover many an insane movie and numerous cult TV phenomenons. Are you ready to get jacked up? Are you with us? Then listen on.
Listener discretion is advised. It's a jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. Jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. Jacked up review show.
All my life I had to fight, knock me down each time I try. I live in truth while you live in lies. I see way too many homicides. Daddy in jail serving his time. I wipe my own tears when I cry. I mask the pain for the spotlight. Hiding pain deep down inside. Trying to love me is hard 'cause I know I'm aggressive sometimes. Teardrops like raindrops, the way they pouring out of my eyes. My niece is raised in the foster system. Wish I could've spent more time with her. Wish I could've even grew up with her. All I got is memories and baby pictures. All my life
I've been alone. Nobody wanna call my phone. So solid, just like a stone. My dad was never home. At 16, kicked out my home. Sorry, mom, thought I was grown. With Cali Coke and I was home alone. Congratulations, like folks were alone. No wolfing on the black sheep. They be talking cheap, yeah, it's that cheap. Everything greasy like it's fat meat. How you drive me crazy in the backseat? Like John Legend, get it, bitch. The green light. Even though the alarm wrong, baby girl, it don't seem right. Straight up,
All my life I had to fight, knock me down each time I try. I live in truth while you live in lies. I see way too many homicides. Daddy in jail serving his time. I wipe my own tears when I cry. I mask the pain for the spotlight. Hiding pain deep down inside. Trying to love me is hard 'cause I know I'm aggressive sometimes. Teardrops like raindrops, the way they pouring out of my eyes. My niece is raised in the foster system. Wish I could've spent more time with her. Wish I could've even grew up with her. All I got is memories and baby pictures. All my life.
All right, welcome back. Just thought we'd do a few more quick Q&As. Tonight's guest has Tamaya Jenkins. How are you?
I'm good. It's Tamia.
Mia, okay, sorry. And you're known as MoneyBag Mia, the rapper.
The rapper.
All right, excellent. So, you've been on a few different platforms. You've been embracing Apple and Spotify. So what got you into the rap game?
Well, I kind of just started rapping because it was like I just started going through a lot of different things in my life, and I actually started off as a writer. Like I was into like journalism and poetry and short stories, and then I kind of like used that skill that I have for my writing and just kind of monetize my writing into my music. Like if I could write a story or a script, I could write a rap. So that's kind of where I started doing that. And then I just like, when I started hearing Nicki Minaj, that was like my favorite era of rap. And then I just kind of started using her beats to learn how to rap. So I kind of like taught myself how to rap, listening to other female rappers, and then I just kind of created my own sound. And then after a while, I got passionate about it. So I just was like, let me just start making music.
Okay, very cool. And how would you describe kind of the rap game nowadays? It seems like anyone can do it, but it's hard to stand out. So how did you just decide how you were going to approach it?
Well, I just approached it with authenticity. I think that a lot of people in the rap game, they have a certain image that they think people want to see. Like, and although some people might want to see that, I feel like it should be your own person. Like, I feel like in the rap game, you shouldn't have to like show too much of yourself, like sexually, to be noticed for your talent. I feel like your talent should speak for itself. And I feel like a lot of women kind of like, I'm not going to say a lot of women, but some women do get to the top by using their looks and their body to get ahead with certain industries. So I feel like with that, it's harder for people that actually want it and actually really is passionate about it, and they don't have those secret agendas. It's just like professionalism. Like me, I'm all about professionalism. Yeah, I'm cute, I'm sexy, I like to twerk. But when it's about my business, like I do not mix the two. And I don't want to ever feel uncomfortable working with somebody because they think that, oh, since this rapper, let them get some, they're going to get some too, type of thing. So it's just different things that I've dealt with in the industry, but I've learned how to maneuver that by just staying true to myself and really, focusing on my own platform and building my own platform and not trying so hard to work with all the big names and just kind of getting myself out there with my own connections.
Okay, very cool. When did you start embracing SoundCloud and YouTube?
I think I started doing SoundCloud in 2016. At first, I was like recording music on my sister's computer tablet, and the sound and quality was horrible. But that's kind of how I was building up the confidence to like record myself. And then I've made like a few songs on SoundCloud that had decent quality. But then I was like, you know what? I think I should take this to the studio. So I first went to the studio in 2018. That's when I released a few of my songs, Need a Woman, Celibate, Walk It, Talk It Remix, and Hot Girl or Hot Bitch or something like that. And then from there, I went to the studio again in 2019, and then I released my first single, which was called Good Pussy. And from there, I just started putting myself on these platforms. Like that was the first song to go to Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, and a few other places. Spinnerilla, I've been on there for mixtapes. So it's like I've been on different platforms that like I just kind of was, networking, and people started noticing me. And then I met this Latin producer, and that's kind of how I got the release with Good Pussy. They made an original beat for me, and I actually wrote that song to a YouTube beat, and they was like, I think that we should do an original beat, so that's actually my beat. So,
Okay, stellar.
yeah.
So you're based in Sacramento, California?
Yeah, I'm based in Sacramento. I'm from Oakland, California, but I started doing my music in Sacramento, if that makes sense. Like, I started really taking my rapping seriously out here. Like, I used to rap for fun in Oakland, but I was never, like, into it. I did make one song in Oakland, which was the first song I think I've ever really, like, made. It was with this artist called First Class GD. I think I recorded that song in Richmond. It's called, what is it called? How You Like It. That's exactly what it's called.
Okay. Stellar. So what I mainly saw on iTunes was you had a lot of singles. Are you planning a few albums currently, or?
I actually am working on some albums. I write a lot of music, and I'm trying to put like a really dope album together because I think that's something that I deserve right now is an album. I'm tired of just releasing like single songs. I want to put like an album together of some of my favorite songs that I've written and kind of like show the people that I'm not just, a sexual rapper, or I'm not just a gangster rapper. Like I have a lot of passion and sadness in my music, and I want to be able to show people that, show my fans that I can switch it up, I could be different, and I can be versatile with my music. Even though I'm a rapper, I'm not a singer, I can still deliver what people are looking for from singers.
Totally get it. Yeah, well, and so that this is a very straightforward interview, but I mean, you're essentially kind of laying out that if there's no voice in the work, then, there's no point of even doing the song. So
seriously, I think that what you rap about should come from a life experience. A lot of people kind of just rap about things that sound cool on a beat, but I actually rap about what I'm really about, like my life, what I've been through. And some of it kind of just comes from like, you know, my poetry and my journaling. Like I just kind of felt like that was the best way for me to express myself in certain situations that I've been in, and, you know, kind of make light of some real fucked up shit, but rapping about it, like that shit didn't faze me.
Well, very cool. So I've always am encountering various independent music, whether it's in Dallas or Deep Ellum, just everything from electronic and dubstep people to rappers and rock stars. So it seems like, you know, anyone can get a recording studio, and then it's just hard to just find how you want to record everything and how do you want to even make a music video. How would you describe how you would brainstorm some of that material?
To brainstorm my studio work, I'm very particular. Anybody that knows me or work with me in the studio knows I be on them about how I sound, my ad libs, auto tune. Like if I don't sound good, I want to record it again because I don't like auto tuning my voice. I like that raw realness in my voice, and I don't like to be auto tuned because it makes it sound more poppy to me. I don't really like pop rap like that, so I really deliver the best of the best. So I will record and record over and over again until I feel like, okay, I like how that sound, and I'll tell them like, okay, let me do that again. Like I know that was bullshit. Like let me re-record because I put my best forward. Now, when it comes to making a video, I really try to be different and stand out, like with my makeup, my clothes, my hair. Like I don't want to look like every other female that's doing this. So, you know, I feel like I brought something different in my video that I did this year. I feel like it was sexy, but it was modest sexy. It wasn't like too revealing, like my ass wasn't out, my titties wasn't really out like that. Like it was a little bitch, like I was fucking ass naked with a little thong on. Like I don't get down like that. So I feel like when it comes to music videos, how you present yourself says a lot about you, and it actually it kind of creates a character that people believe that you are. So it also makes people not take you seriously, because if they see certain things, they're like, okay, well, I could work with her and she's going to take her clothes off if I do a video with her, or if I put her in my video, I know she's going to get naked because she get naked in her own video. So it's like, with me, it's all about professionalism. So I feel like if you can handle yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself, it's like you could be sexy, but you have to be assertive in this industry because you will get ran over, especially being a woman.
I can definitely back you up on that one because
Yes, I feel like
I was
I feel like people take advantage of sexy women because they feel like sexy women are easy and promiscuous, and that's not true.
Oh, totally. I worked on a terrible film set which had a very perverted cameraman. I was also on another film set where someone was just going around, they were wielding around a fake gun, but it was one of those where it's like, dude, you know, you don't just wave around a fake gun in this, you know, rap video. And it was already bad enough because we're on a shoot which did not have a permit. And so I'm just like, okay, you're just asking to get pulled over by someone who with too much time on their hands. You know?
Yeah, like me, when it comes to videos, when it comes to props, I really try to keep it non-violent. And, you know, with my video, I have fake money in my video. And the reason why I have fake money is because if you start flashing real money, you know, in your videos to prove some sort of point, it brings the wrong type of attention. Like I could have used my real money for my video, but I also feel like, what is the point of doing that? It's like I don't have anything to prove to anybody about my situation. And on top of that, it's like, why would someone care if I'm using real money? Like, why would I take time out of my day to put real money in a video, to throw it all on the ground and then have to have somebody pick up all my money? That someone can easily steal my money, because I don't trust everybody I work with. Like I trust people, but not to that extent to be throwing thousands of dollars around of my money for one video.
I've never thought of that, but that's very eye-opening. It does seem like, so that brings me to another follow-up. Do you feel like there's just so many idiots out there who just can't blur the line between reality and fiction? Like they just have to feel like everything is for real, and it's like it's escapism. This is a work of art.
definitely feel like people don't know the difference between fake and real. When it comes to the industry, people think that what they see on video is what's real. Everybody puts on a facade and a certain look to seem and gain. I don't know if it's clout or promotion. Like, people want to live an extravagant lifestyle that's not really what they're doing in real life. But I feel like when the cameras are rolling and when it's a video shoot, people portray like an image, like waving guns and throwing money and strippers and alcohol. They think that's what people really want to see. And some people want to see that type of stuff, but I personally, I'm tired of it. I like to bring something different. Like, I want my videos to be different. Like, I want you to kind of see me for who I am, not what you think I want to be or who I want to be. Like, yeah, I like to party. I like to get drunk. At once upon a time, I used to smoke weed. I used to do it all, but that's not what I want my music to reflect about me. I want my music to reflect those things, but reflect in a different way on camera. Like, I can rap about it, but in my video, it's not just gonna be thrown together.
It's not the only content we see on screen.
Yeah, like content is very important to me. What I put out there is very important to me. My content is everything. Like, I have to put out a certain image about myself because I want to feel good about myself, not because I want other people to feel good about me.
Very cool. So do you have any tips for anyone else about to try and get into this? Because now we're living in a post TikTok world and it's troll city. Yeah, for every bunch of people giving you vague compliments like, oh, that was awesome, but not telling you why that was awesome, you're also going to be surrounded by people saying, oh, that sucked. And, well, why did it suck? Are you for real? And you actually want to give a critique, or are you just trolling?
Exactly. No, there's one thing about this industry. You're going to have trolls. No one's ever going to be like, oh my God, like, I love your music. You're so dope. I like what you wore. I like what you said. There's only a few people that will do that. But I feel like now we're in a society where you could just comment, oh, that was great. And then that just appeases someone. We live in a world where people are so small-minded and they'll accept any conversation as long as someone's speaking. And I'm more of an intellectual person. Like, I like to dig deep into things. Like, when I listen to music or watch a video, I like to analyze everything for what it is and break it down as a general whole to see what I took from that video. And some stuff, okay, if I watch the video, is this something I'm going to remember in the next 20 minutes? Or is this just something that I was like, okay, I watched it, I'm probably never going to watch this video again. It was trash. But, some people can only steal your attention for 10 seconds. Some people can steal your attention for 10 years. It's just all about what you put out there. You have to be appealing to your fan base, and you have to be basically interesting enough for people to keep watching you. Because even if people like you or don't like you, if people support you or don't support you, they're going to watch you. But it's about how long you're going to keep those people watching.
Oh, totally. I had the honor of working on a music video. I had to actually direct it, make sure everyone showed up. Do you feel like many music video creators are organized, or are there a lot of them who just need to get out of here? Who just they don't have their heads together?
Hell no. I don't think any of them are organized. I think that there's a lot of favoritism with the cameramans. I think people decide to do their best work for certain people that they either fucking or fuck with hella hard. But when you're professional, you're just about business and you're just giving them that money. They're just trying to get in and get out, and they're trying to just do the bare minimum. And I don't fuck with shit like that, because when I put something together, I want it to be the way that I see it in my head, not the way that you think it's gonna look or the way you feel it. Like, I'm just a particular type of person, and it's like, if you can't deliver what I'm looking for, I'm not gonna really pay you. Like, and if I am gonna pay you, I'm never gonna work with you again, because I feel like, don't just do something for the money. Do something because you want to see this artist ahead, and you see their vision, and you want to make their vision come to life, like, and to fruition. I feel like a lot of video camera people are just using that as a way to make money. It's like a side hustle. They don't really care how your video come out. They just want to get paid and do their job, do some bullshit ass editing, make you look a little popping than what you already are or not, and go on about their day and keep making their money. It's like a scheme. It's like it's like a get rich quick scheme. It's like, I feel like some video camera people, they really honor their job and they do it to the best of their ability. But I feel like, no, they're not professional. They'll show up late and then tell you got to put in all this work, and they late, and they get mad at you if you're a little bit late. Like, it's like, you got to be on time if you want me on time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be running late expecting all this shit from me because I'm the artist. You, the person that's making everything happen, you need to be on time. The way I see it.
I've had my share of those tools. So have you ever been, so I find that many people should actually storyboard and just have a big giant sit down. Have you not been as fortunate to encounter a lot of these creative types who will do that? Actually envision it.
Are you asking me, have I sat down with creative people that were like famous, or have I worked with people that were creative?
Oh no, just when planning any kind of music production, like there were people who were on it, who were organized and were actually going to plan this out, or are you still looking for those types who
I will say I've dealt with a lot of professionalism with my music. I've also dealt with a little bit more professionalism with my modeling. I will say I've had some really great professionalism with my modeling, not so much as now, but back in the day, I'm saying back in the day like I'm hella old, but like when I first started modeling, like I've had great relationships with my photographers. The photos were more than exceeding than what I wanted. So I feel like my modeling is really something that's a highlight of my life because I've done it for so long. I have done so many different photo shoots, so many different places. And I feel like that's where you will meet some of the professionalist people. I've only had 2 bad encounters with photography, but other like I've been really having good experiences with my photographers. My pictures are excellent. I mean, I've been published in 2 magazines this year off of pictures from 4 years ago.
Oh, sweet. Are you still doing modeling on the side?
I am still doing modeling. I recently did some modeling this year, and I'm planning on doing more maternity, pregnancy modeling. I think that's something that I kind of like to get into because I've been, pregnant and I've had my daughter. So I feel like I like pregnant modeling. I think that's something that will be like nice to put on my portfolio. And I think that pregnant women can still model and be sexy and still like do things that they would do if they weren't pregnant. I think it just kind of embraces your beauty more when you model pregnant, but you have to have a specific photographer and model relationship to embrace that vision, because a lot of people are perverted in the industry. So some people just want to see a pregnant woman like in a certain way so they can, feel some type of way behind the camera. And I'm not about that. So it's like, I'm very picky about who I work with. Like, I'm a very picky person when it comes to my business because I take that very seriously. Like, I just don't play about my pictures, my music, or my time.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people who seem to think everyone should look a certain way and everything, and how dare we address anyone else who looks different or from our version of beautiful or whatever. So that's cool that you're breaking barriers like that.
It's hard because a lot of times people expect you to be a certain way when they're like, oh, well, she's not this way. I don't think that I will be able to work with her because it's either when you stand up for yourself, it's either you're a bitch, you have an attitude problem, or they compare you to other women who wouldn't have an issue with doing those things. And I'm just at a place in my life where I'm comfortable with who I am, and I'm comfortable with saying no to people, and I'm comfortable with turning down even the biggest opportunities just because they don't respect me or respect how I think or how I choose to creatively work and create content.
Gotcha. Would you say there's just too many people who just think that any criticism is just bad and that how dare anyone open their mouth because they got a problem with everything? Or does everyone just need to get better at just being constructive with what is or isn't working?
I think people should be more constructive. Constructive criticism is the most professional way to go. But just kind of telling people, oh, this is what it is and how dare you. Like, I don't think people should just be like a tell-it-all, and I'm a know-it-all, and this is what it's gonna be, and it's my way or the highway. That's a very immature thought mindset. So I think that when it comes to business, people should just be straightforward. I say that all the time. I'm a very transparent person. Like, even if you do have ulterior motives, be an adult and say those things, and then give that person an opportunity to decide if that's what they want to sign themselves up for. Don't just spring that on somebody. Like, for example, like, don't book a photo shoot with a model and start being perverted at the shoot and then expect them to continue the shoot, because they don't even see it coming. So
Right.
it's coming off like weird. So if you have something on your mind, like, be an adult and say that, and someone could be like, oh no, I'm not comfortable, or yes, I am comfortable. Like, just give people an opportunity to tell you who they are without assuming.
So would you say there's a lot of that too? Just people who just are assuming everyone is a mind reader and they're just not.
No,
Not
they're not.
themselves. All right. That's a bummer, but hopefully that can change. So how would you describe the current California independent rap music scene right now? Do you think a lot of people are trying a few different things, or is it struggling?
I think people are struggling independent because they think they need a label, and they think that they need, like, my instant. I've been independent for so long, and I have a manager or whatnot, but I'm signed to an independent record label, so it still gives me the freedom to create my own content and to do my own thing and make my own way, because I don't want to be pushed into something where I have to change everything I know about myself for a label. Because one thing about a label, when you sign to a big label, like some of the, like, Atlantic Records and stuff like that, like, they just want to own you. They want to change your content, change your look, your sound. Like, I'm just the type of person where, yeah, you're going to struggle being an independent artist. Yeah, you're going to not have so many followers, and you're not going to have that many views. And I think when people are independent, they do desperate things like buy followers, buy promotion, and get into all these money scams because they want the bigger platform. But I think when you build your own platform, it will grow. You just kind of have to let it grow on its own. But some people are so desperate to get to the top because they feel like, oh, this industry, I have to be here, I have to be there, I want to work with this person, I want to work with that person, and if I do these things, it's gonna boost my career. But you could buy followers and buy promotion, and you still won't go nowhere. I'm trying to tell you, like, people do this every day, and their music is still not on a big platform. They don't have no sold out shows. They still performing at basic events. So it's like, you're not really elevating, you're just moving a little bit, and it's barely doing that. So I feel like, people that don't have such a big platform are really the best independent artists, who ask me, because you will have a big platform and then you have nothing but spam followers. Like, those are not real people. So they're just people commenting, yeah, this is nice, and you have all these likes, but they're not real. They're not real people.
Gotcha. You think there's many who aren't doing background checks on people, making sure these businesses?
Yeah, it's like, and then you click on the followers, or you click on the so-called business page, they're scams, they're fake, they pay for followers. Like, you could tell it's not real, and then you just look stupid. It's like, don't be desperate to have a fan base. And then it's like, I think people do that because they want famous people. It's like, people are so fixated on famous people that will never work with them or never give them the time of day. Like, instead of building a platform in their own community, they're searching for a platform in different countries, which is fine. Be international, but you have to stream internationally. First, get your streams up. When you go on Spotify, you have to get your streams to a certain amount, and you will start getting paid for your music. You can't just assume because you got followers, people is going to listen to your music, because those are bots. They're not going to click on your music link and listen to that. So you have to,
Totally. Are there any companies you'd actually like to promote or throw their name in the ring as you think they're going to start growing in the local community? Or
Any companies that I want to promote, I only promote my own stuff. Like
Oh, okay.
I promote myself. I've never like promoted any other company unless it was like a brand partnership where I was working with them. Like I used to work with Too Hot Radio. I did a performance for Black Ink Crew, which was a really big platform. I don't know if you've heard of Black Ink Crew. It's like a TV show on VH1 where they do tattoos. I don't know if
Oh,
you heard
nice.
from Black Ink Crew. Yeah, I did a performance at his event, and his brother was there. It was really cool. We met some of the Black Ink Crew team in Atlanta. So it was the Atlanta edition that had came out to Sacramento, and that's where I did my first performance. So that's really where I built my platform. And yeah, I just was around famous people just by performing a song that I made on SoundCloud. So it's possible that small independent artists can make it. You just have to be at the right place at the right time, and you have to want it, and you have to, sign up for stuff that you would think, oh, maybe I won't get in. But if you sign up, like I signed up for that event and I got a call back the same day. So it's like it's all about how motivated you are, and it's like you do have to do performances. Like I'm not gonna lie, you have to put yourself out there, get rid of the stage fright. You gotta go to open mic if you have an open mic nearby. Like if you really want to get yourself out there, I would suggest performing and then building a fan base from performances and then gain your followers. But don't buy followers because they're not gonna stream your music. And then when you do have a streaming service, it's like you have to grow it with real fans, people that is real. That's really gonna go on Apple and spend that 99 cents on your song.
Totally. So that was in Atlanta. Do you have any other favorite areas that you've traveled to and done some live events or collaborations with?
Well, that event was in Sacramento. They came to Sacramento from Atlanta.
Okay. So they're based there and they came here. Okay.
They basically came to the city that I live in, because this ain't my city, Oakland. But they came to this city or whatever, and me and my homegirl performed. I met some people from Atlanta. Some people actually Atlanta to do the performance in Sacramento. So that was pretty cool to meet some people from different places. But I know I've never traveled for my music. I went to LA to do a weed photo shoot. It was like a brand shoot for a cannabis store.
Cool.
That was 2017. So I travel for modeling, but I haven't done any outside performances out of California. But that's what my goal is, to travel and perform. But with the kids and all, and the pregnancy, I just been trying to stay in the house, be local, and I'm trying to do something that I can do from home, like my business. That's why I started my entrepreneuring, selling my lip glosses and my lashes and my clothes and stuff, because I could be at home and make money from my phone. So I want to start back doing performances and stuff like that. Right now I'm still recording music. I'm still doing videos. I just have to kind of do performances when it works for me.
Gotcha. What would your ideal music video actually look like? Like, what would you envision it kind of being like, or the scenario that you would display in it?
Like, as far as what kind of music I would put out?
More like what kind of a music video you would probably conceive. Like,
I would like to do something elegant. Like the video ideas that I have are like really over the top. Like I was thinking of doing like some video shoot in all white and different hairstyles and like dramatic scenes and nice cars, stuff like that.
okay.
And then doing like some simple stuff like going back to my hood, doing videos in Oakland, just showing them that I'm not some upper echelon female. I'm still the same female from the hood, but at the same point in time I can carry myself elegant. So I want my videos to show like, okay, this is where I came from, but this is where I'm going, type of thing. Like I want them to see the struggle, the glow up, the elevation, and then just some pretty girl stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing too crazy.
Gotcha. It seems like I was encountering that a lot. There was someone who wanted to do just something incredibly insane to where you're like, yeah, that's not going to be safe. Someone's going to get hurt or injured if you do a stunt like that.
Yeah, like nothing too crazy or out of the ordinary, violent. I want my music videos to be fun. Like I want someone to watch my video and be like, wow, this girl's having a lot of fun just doing simple shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just being pretty and going out places and driving my car somewhere. Like, you know, just it'd be the simplest scenes that stand out just based off of your energy in the video. A lot of people, you don't need a lot of props in your video. You really just need energy in the video. Like you have to make your video look like you're having the best time of your life, you know, doing the simplest thing, like getting out of the car door. You gotta have energy, you gotta have that look, you gotta have that swag, opening the car door. Like there's a lot of things that I've learned being in people's videos and doing my
Okay, very cool. And so now that everyone who's been listening to this interview, essentially we have someone who's been independent their whole life, been independent with their music, been independent with their image. If she can do it, so can you.
Sure, and I definitely independent artist. Anything that you're trying where times you'll just get on social media, like you'll feel like you have to top other artists because, oh, this person got that many views and this person got that many streams. But you have to always remember God is going to take you as far as you are willing to go, and everybody has a time. This is not your time, and you have to work your way up because nothing comes easy. Like if you really have to work for it, like you do.
Okay, very stellar. Well, it's been a delight talking to another independent artiste. So if there's anything further you'd like to promote.
Oh yeah, I do want to promote a few things. My Instagram, make sure you guys follow me at the real MoneyBag Mia. And you can also follow my business page at Promiscuous Lips. I don't know if y'all could type that in on y'all podcast or whatever, but it's
Totally. Yeah.
It's THAAA and then Real MoneyBag Mia, and then y'all know how to spell Promiscuous Lips, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I want to promote. Yeah, and I sell lip glosses and lashes and clothes, so you guys can always order something.
Okay, very stellar. Well, thank you ever so much for being on here, and hopefully this inspires other people to just get into the music game.
Yeah, and also if you want to start your own business, it's very easy, very simple. It's a great little hustle to have from home, you know, make a little extra money and just have fun doing it, and just don't be so money hungry. Actually love what you do, and then other people will love it too.
Okay, excellent. We need that amount of positive reinforcement. So thank you ever so much once again.
You're welcome.
We'll return after these messages.
Hey, feeling down? Feeling low? Not enough podcasts about movies in your life? Why not try
They must be destroyed on sight.
the new Podcast Cure-All? Sure to get you right with the world and on a path to better living. We have exploitation, we have Italian horror, we have zombies, we have slashers, we have crime films, we have spaghetti westerns, we even have sci-fi and sex comedies. So take a dose of
They must be destroyed on sight.
as needed, and let the hosts, Lee Russell, Daniel Harper, Paul Romali, and the odd guest host cure what ails you.
Warning, may cause atrophy, African consumption, black fever, bone shave, chin cough, colic, cramp colic, dropsy of the brain, elephantitis, grocer's itch, jaundice, mania, miasma, mortification, palsy, Pott's disease, rheumatism, scurvy, St. Anthony's fire, summer complaint, and worm fit in some people. Consult a physician before listening.
Hey, I heard you like movies.
I heard you like to hustle.
I heard you like podcasts.
Well, guess what?
There's a podcast for you out there called The Home Video Hustle.
Damn right.
Every Friday, we talk about whatever movie PJ picks out the bag. What does that mean? Every Wednesday on our YouTube page, I put a bunch of movies in a bag, and PJ picks one out at random. And then we just watch it. We talk about it for maybe like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever we feel like doing, wherever the conversation leads us.
But do we actually talk about the movie?
Most of the time. Tangents galore.
Yes.
So believe me, we may be a movie podcast, but it's not always about movies. We might talk about video games, music. Yeah, that's the big one, music. Sometimes we might get a little bit of politicalness in there.
Yes.
Sometimes we may just, we know what we like to do. We like to tell stories, PJ.
Yes.
I am the master storyteller of the podcast realm. Undefeated. So if you like to hear about movies, video games, whatever foolishness comes to our mind, the most random stuff you could think of, check out the Home Video Hustle. You can find us on the Stitchers, the Google Play, Apple Podcasts,
What else?
Podbean,
What else?
Podcast Addict,
Goddamn.
all that. Ain't no reason you can't get your hustle on. We everywhere, worldwide, baby.
Hustle, motherfucking hustle.
Hey, we can't cuss in the promo, PJ. We gotta be family friendly. There may be podcasts out there that don't want his hair say all that good fun stuff.
Well, you.
Don't run the listeners away, PJ.
I'm sorry.
But this is going kind of long.
Yes.
So we'll end this and say, hey, check out the Home Video Hustle every Friday on all the various podcast outlets. Peace.
Peace.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. And while Witch didn't make it to the top of the world, he did make the Gangs of Hollywood podcast. So join the gang and enjoy a movie review podcast about movie gangs, gangsters, mobsters, and the mayhem they cause. You can find GOH Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at GOH Pod at www.gohpod.com, as well as your favorite podcast listening app. And remember, say hello to your little friend for me.
If you take two old punk rockers who are past their prime, put them in front of a movie screen and give them a podcast, what do you get? Cinema Punks. Cinepunks. It's the mixtape of movies.
Did you ever see a film at such a young age it left you traumatized with cinematic wounds? Necrophilia. It's a dead issue, man. Don't push it. Cinema Psyops is a weekly podcast documenting an ongoing experiment on the mind of an unwilling test subject.
No one should have to watch this movie.
Oh, no one should have to watch this?
No one should have to watch this movie.
Surprisingly, it's not a topic that a lot of people really want to tackle.
I'm shocked, prudes.
I know, really.
Right?
It's the next sexual frontier that no one wants to explore.
I am, in the most sincerest of senses, disappointed in you.
It takes a powerful goddess like Connie, jam her arm down the monster's throat and kill it. Oh, I'm still tripping out over that. Even as a kid, I was like, I gotta find a girl like that. Every week, I get a new look of disappointment that I never thought I could get out of her.
Unimaginable. At 12 years old, you should not be watching this movie.
Obviously.
At 13, you should not be. 14, you shouldn't be. I'm not entirely sure even 17-year-olds should be watching this.
Just because you're offended by something doesn't mean that you have the right to demand that it doesn't exist. Watching this film again, I had all of this like little nerd glee with everything that kept
little
popping
history all popping up
absolutely.
at you.
So I totally loved this film.
Hey, I know why you couldn't see that. It's because your brain's warped from watching this shit at 12 years old.
Yeah, this is a rough movie. I told you ahead of time when we were getting ready to do it that it was going to be a rough
How did you watch
one.
this shit at 12?
Because physical wounds heal, cinematic ones don't. Listen to Cinema Psyops.
Hey everybody, I'm Corey. And I'm Zach, and we're the hosts of Podcasting After Dark, a cast dedicated to late-night horror and sci-fi of the 80s and 90s, often found on HBO and Cinemax.
You know, the movies your parents didn't want you watching as a kid. You can find us every other week on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and Stitcher.
This is what you want.
This is what you get.
It's time, let's check our cue, baby. Pair it with a couple brews, baby. We love good movies. We love the bad ones too. So we watch them all and pass their lessons on to you. Oh yeah. Everything I learned from movies helps to make life a little bit groovy. With a one-liner plot holes and gratuitous movies. It's time to get busy with your friend Steve and Izzy at eilfm.podbean.com.
Welcome to Who Was She podcast. I am your host, Tara Jabari. After a decade working in documentaries, marketing, and all things digital media, I found that podcasting is a strong medium to share stories. After years of producing for others, I decided to start my own biographical podcast. Who Was She will focus on the life of a woman throughout Baha'i history. The first season is about Lydia Zamenhof. Lydia's story explores the subjects of the power of language and faith. Her father invented the universal language Esperanto, and she came from a Jewish family and became a Baha'i. She grew up during World War I and was killed during World War II in a concentration camp, despite heroic efforts to save her life. How can one person's life intersect with so many others, connect across borders, and inspire a biography which inspired this podcast? Over the next few weeks, I will share her story with you and the lives that were most affected by her and those who affected her life as well. They include her father, Ludwig Zamenhof, her spiritual mother, American journalist Martha Root, and the Baha'i German soldier Fritz Mako, who worked for the resistance undercover while having to serve the Nazi Party. I want to thank the author Wendy Heller and George Ronald Publishing for their blessing to let me use Heller's biography, Lydia, The Life of Lydia Zamenhof, Daughter of Esperanto, as a main and instrumental resource for this podcast. So please subscribe and learn about this amazing woman who traveled through 3 continents in an effort to bring unity through the power of language. You can also find more information on our Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest at Who Was She Podcast. Music was composed and performed by Sam Red. I am your host, Tara Jabari. Join us next time as we begin our journey about Lydia Zamenhof.
Hi everybody, it's Mac Jackson. I wanted to invite you to a new site called the Forever Adventure Network. This website has everything. Pictures, videos, blogs. There's original music by Harmony Constant, 2 podcasts. One is the MacGyver podcast, where we celebrate Richard Dean Anderson, his iconic roles, and how it's influenced our lives. There's episode discussions, interviews, and life conversations. The second podcast is the Never Gets Old podcast, where we celebrate all the best things that we love in life, from TV, movies, music, and comics. The site is also the home for the MacGyver SG-1 audio series, an ongoing adventure series that continues the adventures of MacGyver and SG-1. There are also multiple stores to choose from for all of your pop culture and adventure needs. Come on by and check us out today. And thanks for joining the adventure.
Are you sick of the same old stale podcasts? Well, then join Vanessa and Darren as they dissect movies of all kinds. The 2 lifelong cinema lovers bring their favorites, curiosities, and first-time watches to the operating table and inject them with a healthy dose of snark. Then there's the waiting room, where they examine books and short stories. So just look for them on Apple Podcasts and where fine podcasts are available. They're part of the Legion Podcast Network. Follow them on Twitter at VD Clinic Pod. Join them on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/VD Clinic Pod, or email them at vdclinicpod@gmail.com. They're ready to cure what ails you. And still, they just might be a little contagious.
Hi there. It's Heather from the Watching Netflix Without You podcast. Did you know that there are over 1,200 Netflix original feature films and documentaries? And that number is only growing. So I've made it my mission to watch as many as I possibly can. Then, with a delightful guest or guests, disclaimer, more often than not my brother Ryan, we spend an episode rating, reviewing, and discussing a film at length. The first half of every episode is spoiler-free for those who haven't seen it yet, and in the second half, after a very clear spoiler warning, we dive into it. And that's really about it. You can listen to Watching Netflix Without You on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more.
We now continue with our program.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up review show.